Hey nestlings, and welcome back to Planning with Penguins. All right, we are moving on to the next chapter, which I think is 4. That makes sense, right? Because we're on section 4. So we're on chapter 4, or maybe we're on section 3. I can't remember. I think we're on section 3 of the most epic Comic-Con planner ever. So we have done section 1, which is our travel plans. And we've done section 2, which is our calendar. So we are on section 3. So section 3 is all information about the convention, floor plans, panels I'm interested in going to, exhibitors I want to see, that kind of stuff. I thought about doing a spreadsheet with every panel that's been announced, but I think in here, I just want to keep a list of the panels that have already piqued my interest and that I've written down. Because I'll still have the Star Wars Celebration app, and you will most likely have an app for any convention that you go to that shows all of the panels. So rather than keeping a whole panel schedule in here, I just want to focus on the ones that I really want to go to. Okay, so first things first, we need to get our floor plans in there. So I had an original floor plan of the McCormick building, but luckily Star Wars Celebration released these maps that have an overall view. It has a view of all the levels that we're going to be using and the main rooms that we're going to be using. And so this is way better. And then on the back of this is actually a map of the exhibit hall and where the booth numbers are going to be. So that's really nice because I can go through once I figure out the exhibitors that I want to go to, and I can kind of highlight where they're going to be on the floor. And then we have this, which is a street overview that shows where you're going to enter from what streets and the instructions that you need to enter the convention. So these are really, really good. So we're going to get these into the planner. So for this one, I think I want it to fold out this way. And then when you turn it, it'll be upside down. Let's see. If it goes in this way, it's going to be half sheet. Show overview. This is upside down, the exhibit hall. So I'll most likely use this side more. And if I need to flip it over, I can always pull it off and do it that way. So I think this is the way. I mean, I could punch it on this side, which might be the better side to punch it on. Then the exhibit hall would be upside down. This is difficult because this is the side I'm primarily going to use, but I don't want to punch into the actual floor plan itself. Okay, well, okay, so I'm just gonna punch it on this other side just because of how it'll be easier to be seen. So in order to do this, and yes, this will stick out of the planner, but I'm gonna fold it. So to do this, I am going to line it up I'm lining it up with the second line on the punch, which is for the classic Happy Planner. Here we go. And as you can see, it's gonna rub right up against another hole right there. So we have 6, we have 8 holes instead of 9. So it's gonna rub up against the top one. Wasn't expecting to need my paper trimmer, but we will need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down so that there's a little bit above and below this punch hole. I'm going to try to line it up so that it's even. There we go. That way it won't rub up against And I think I'm going to take a small bit off of the edge on the other side as well. That one wasn't as straight, but it's fine. I mean, theoretically, I could trim off show, overview, and exhibit hall, but I'm not gonna. Okay. So, now, we're just going to punch this in. I'm actually gonna use the top one. There we go. And then I'm just gonna fold it. And now it is in our planner. All right, so for this one, for the street overview, this one I am gonna punch right here because I definitely wanna make sure I have this information. So I think I might be able to get all the discs if I position it a little bit different. So, I hadn't really thought about that last time, so now I'm kind of just looking at where it's gonna punch for this one. Make sure right there in the middle and there. So if I had paid attention to the punches on the first one, we wouldn't have had to trim. All right, so street overview. And same thing, I'm just gonna fold it. All right, so now we have our floor plans. Okay, so now the biggest thing is gonna be the panels. And then we can move on from there. So we have a bunch of lined paper and some other things. These are the pages I wanna use for exhibitors. So I picked a paper, you may not remember, that says you don't have to do it all for the panels. So I feel like that's really important. There's no panels on Thursday, so we'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay, so we are now going to plan for the panels. I'm speeding you guys up through this process because it did take quite a long time and you would be here forever. So I'm starting with Friday. And I'm taking some of my scrapbook paper and creating a little header that has kind of like a little bit of a space theme. And just sticking it down using a tape runner and then putting down a sticker that I can write in to write in Friday. So I have my panel schedule that I've written down of the panels that I would like to see. This isn't everything, but it is everything that I was kind of interested in as I went through. And I decided that I should highlight the major panels and use the bigger boxes for the major panels. And then I tried to keep it in sort of a time order so that way I could keep track of it. But there's 4 major panels that I highlighted, and then the rest of them I'm doing in these smaller boxes that I'm kind of overlapping. And then I put a little quote down that says do your best and a little hexagon that says busy day, because Friday's going to be busy and I know I'm not going to be able to see everything that I have on here, but at least I know the things I was interested in. And also a little coffee cup because Lord knows we're going to need coffee on the first day. Well, at least I'll probably need some, although maybe not because adrenaline and such. So I'm flipping through looking for some quotes and stuff, and this does happen to be Friday, so I found a little sticker that says Friday, and then a quote that says spread the happy today. So, and good vibes, which is motivating me to kind of keep a good attitude throughout the whole day. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm writing in my panels. So definitely the episode 9 panel is one of my bigger ones. And then the next biggest one is the 20 years of Lego panel, which is huge that Lego is celebrating 20 years. It's crazy. And then I have some smaller panels, some author tracks, podcast show, podcast panel. Luna is all up in my business. And then the next big one for me is Skywalking Through Neverland, which is Sarah from Fangirls Going Rogue, one of my best friends. her panel, but it does overlap with the Lucasfilm Publishing panel, so I'm going to have to jet out a little bit early because I have to cover the Lucasfilm Publishing panel. So it's just part of my responsibility as media and a podcaster, and since I do a podcast about books, it's kind of important. All right, so I decided to do the same thing for Saturday and highlight the major panels that I am highly interested in. Saturday is a packed day. And there's just so much going on. So I decided to punch out a bunch of little hearts, which Luna has decided to play with, and fully intending to use them for this particular page, but I ended up not using them. I'm going to have to use them later. So they just kind of went off to the side. And for this page, I decided to go with the second colorful boxes and do a purplish, turquoise, bluish, pinkish ombre spread. I put this little balloon sticker down just because I like the way it looks and I think it goes with the color scheme. Really no other reason other than that. And so now we've got to figure out what we're going to do. So big panels, or the bigger panels like I did on the last one, deserve a bigger box. That big double box is actually going to be for my podcast stage because I'm actually on the podcast stage and I feel like it is important for me to note that and anything I need to write down. So now I'm going through my list of panels and I'm just putting my stickers down in an order, you know, to kind of keep track and keep them in order for time. And I'm kind of going in like a zigzag pattern. So I understand it. You'll see. You'll see as I fill it in and I talk you guys through it. Lots of different kinds of boxes here to label all of these panels. And all the smaller ones are getting like little label stickers, but all the bigger panels and semi-bigger panels are getting a bigger box. So this little gem I put down here as gem-shaped sticker says you can totally do this because we have a slight, very close overlap between the Women of Star Wars and Fangirls Going Rogue, so that's some encouragement for me. And then the Be Awesome Today just goes with the color scheme, and then that sparkle sticker, just things that'll make me happy when I'm looking at this page as I am at the convention, you know, just to brighten things up a little bit. Because I know, like, I tend to get stressed out at conventions, and so I need to keep myself as chill as possible. All right, so we're going to fill in for Saturday now, and I'm going to go back in and make the title darker, but that was just to get it at least on there. So the first big panel is the Galaxy's Edge panel. It's exciting to get to go to it, but the problem is that there is a ton of overlap on Saturday. And Galaxy's Edge overlaps with the Lego animation panel. And I'm going to have to go to the Lego animation panel, so sorry Parks, but I got to split. And then there's some overlap with the Rebels Remembered panel, or they butt up right up against each other. And then we have to hustle over to Marvel Comics. So there's a ton of stuff. And the Rebels Remember panel I have to be at. So it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And there's sometimes some stuff I'm not going to be able to go to, but I'm putting it down anyway. So then we have the Sisters of the Force, Women of Star Wars panel, and then Fangirls Going Rogue. And they are right next to each other. It's just going to be a crazy day. Pardon my head. So there's a lot of stuff on here. Some of these panels I'm not going to go to because I do want to also remember to relax. All right, so we move on to Sunday, and there's only 3 major panels. Sunday is going to be a little bit more of a low-key day for us. So I'm using the Colorful Boxes number 3. And Sunday, you start to drag at a convention, so the keep going quote is perfect. The little swatch at the top is where I'm going to write Sunday. These little double boxes, I'm going to put a few panels in, and then the bigger panels I have in the bigger boxes. Now, I do need another double box because I do have a podcast on the podcast stage, and just like the one from Saturday, I want to make sure I have enough space to write some stuff down. And then I put down a quote that says, "Punch today in the face." Sunday at a convention can be one of the hardest days. You're just drained, especially after the busyness of Saturday. So
anything that's going to keep me going and is going to motivate me. So the hip hip hooray sticker goes right next to that purple box for a reason, because of the panel that is written in that box. Something I'm very excited about. And it took me forever to find a quote for this little area next to the podcast stage panel. God, it took me forever. I just went ahead and grabbed this Get It Done sticker because it fit with the color scheme. So nothing too, life-altering about that. So now it's time to fill stuff in. And I wanted to add a little bit more decor, but I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. So maybe I'll have a burst of inspiration, and I can go back and put in a little bit more decor stickers. So the Mandalorian is the first panel up, and then there's several smaller panels in the middle of the day, things I'm interested in, but I may be doing something else. And then that hip hip hooray is next to the Star Wars The Clone Wars panel, which I will be at. And then we have our bookworms panel right at the end of the day. It's going to be really good. Alright, so now it's time for Monday. So Monday is a lot more low-key because Monday I head home, but I am going to have some time to go and see a few things at the convention, specifically the Phantom Menace panel. There's also a panel about publishing as well. Now, that sticker I just laid down that has the white dots, it's actually a to-do list sticker, but I turned it and I'm using it as like a border instead. I used some of my little hearts finally. And then I was looking for a good quote for the bottom of the page, but I did find celebration, which I thought would be cute to stick into the page. And then this sticker says, there are so many beautiful reasons to be happy, even though I know I'm going to be sad because I'm going to be leaving all my friends. So I grabbed some really pretty florals that I feel like fit in with the color scheme and just got them in there. And then I added a few little ones around the word celebration just to fill the page in. And then this quote right here says, every moment matters. And I need to remember that going into Monday so that I can take advantage of those moments. So the Lucasfilm Publishing panel or roundtable panel is first, and then the Phantom Menace panel. The Phantom Menace panel is the priority, and then there's Star Wars Resistance. I'm not actually going to be able to go to the Star Wars Resistance panel, but I wanted to go ahead and put it on here anyway. I gave the hearts a little bit of an outline too because I thought that would help and make it look super cute. Now I have to color in Friday because I had forgotten to color that in. Alright, so there are my panels, possible schedules, things that I'm interested in seeing. Pop those into the planner right here. I went ahead and took out all the extra lined paper, moved over a bookmark, got rid of a bookmark, and now we're going to do the exhibitors. So I separated the exhibitors that were on the website. I don't think it's all of them, but I separated them into 4 categories, and I went ahead and got their booth numbers. So on the left-hand side of this page, I'm going to put the exhibitors and their booth numbers. And then on the left-hand side, I can make a list of things that I'm interested in buying. And then I put a little tab that says exhibitors onto that page so I can flip to it easy rather than having another bookmark in there. And I went ahead and grabbed this sticker that says, I hope that wherever my bobby pins and hair ties go, they are happy. Because I felt like that went with this first category, which is going to be fashion and apparel. And I'm going to darken everything in. I'm just writing everything down quickly. So what I am doing is I'm putting them in order of booth number. So that way they go from lowest to highest. And I can, organize them that way. It's just easier to me than doing them maybe like alphabetically. So I'm grabbing these little flags and turning them sideways and putting them down for all of the different vendors I'm planning on seeing. Some of these vendors include Her Universe, T-Turtle, Anovos, Pozu, Nixon Watches, Stance Socks. There's quite a few in the fashion and apparel category. Now this is not everyone by any means, but these are the ones that I was really interested in based off the list. And also, like I said, I don't think everybody is on the list on the website. So we'll just have to see, but I'm just writing all of them down with their booth numbers. All right, time to move on. Oh, I forgot. I added a little bit of a pizzazz with some purple washi, and I end up using this washi on all of the pages just to keep it consistent. All right, so on to the next category, which is going to be books and comics. So this time they're going to be on the right-hand side. The sticker I use here says girls just want to have funds, because I want to have funds to buy stuff. So this is books and comics. I only have 5 for this one, but I did put them in that same order of panel size, or panel booth number, sorry. And we overlap one of them just because it doesn't fit very well. It's too long. But I did cut it and scoot it over so that way it was a little bit of a smaller box. So DK Publishing, Penguin Random House Audio, Del Rey Publishing, Abrams Books, and then, of course, the Disney booth. The Disney booth is going to be more than just books, but I felt like this was the best place to put it because I don't know what else they're going to bring, but I know for sure their publishing will be there. Now the next section is toys and collectibles, and this sticker says, favorite childhood memory, not paying bills, so that I can buy all the toys. So again, using that washi to block off the category, and now we've got to put these guys in order. Now one of the big ones in here is going to be Lego, and I give Lego a very special place with one of my little hearts. And so Lego, and then I use the little flag stickers again to mark the others, things like Hasbro, Hallmark, Funko, Brian's Toys. And then at the bottom it says, do what makes you happy. Put a little sticker there. So as you can see, Lego got a big special place right at the top with that heart. And then filling all this in. Now this doesn't mean I'm going to buy stuff from all of these places. It means that I'm just interested in checking out these booths. That's all it means. I might buy a thing or two. We'll see. Alright, and so then the last category I labeled stuff to check out. This is basically others. I ended up using a quote because I was having trouble finding something that would work that says live in the dream, and it doesn't really have anything to do with anything. I just couldn't figure out what else to use, and rather than putting other as the title, I went ahead and put stuff to check out. And these are kind of like a combination of like merchandise booths, art booths, the Fantha Tracks booth, just different things. So I used the hearts finally to mark these, and I put all these hearts down, and so we start going from lowest to highest booth number. I outline the hearts so they pop a little bit more, and we start with Fantha Tracks. So Fantha Tracks, Matt Bush and Lindsay Arts, Electronic Arts video games, Joe Croney and Brian Miller's art booth, Otterbox is going to be there, which is very exciting, and then American Tourister. So just things I want to check out. And that is all of the exhibitors. So I really hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I have one more video to post, which is going to show you guys the rest of the planner, which doesn't take much. But I hope you guys are enjoying this, and then be sure to check back very soon. I'll be posting it today along with this video, which is going to be a plan with me for that week leading up to celebration and all the things I need to do, which is right now. Nobody panic, everyone stay calm. All right, may the force be with you guys.